Welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be comparing Kyokushin karate to kickboxing in order to determine which is the better option to use in a real-world altercation against two or more attackers. Now, just to make one thing clear, when I say kickboxing, I'm referring to just conventional kickboxing. I'm not referring to Muay Thai or Dutch or any other form, just regular kickboxing. So with that out the way, let's get into it. Now let's be real, Kyokushin is the best form of karate that exists. It's the only form of karate that even stands a chance in MMA against other striking based combat sports. That's right, no point scoring system in this style. In fact, it stands among all the other striking arts as being the most aggressive in nature, with its hard body conditioning through bare knuckle fighting and no protection gear worn, at least not in most cases. It seems to be one of the only martial arts with a recorded history of bare knuckle fighting. In Kyokushin, every part of the body below the neck gets fully conditioned through hard kicks and bare knuckle punches. I can tell you that from personal experience, as I do train in it myself. I'll leave a link at the end of this video. Now, there are three noticeable factors that separate Kyokushin from kickboxing. The first being that Kyokushin does not punch to the face, they only kick to the face, and as a result, the punching techniques are not as refined as kickboxing, being only allowed to punch to the body. But on the upside, you get very used to being punched in the body full blast. Second, Kyokushin, or actually karate in general, does teach you basic grappling and takedown moves, despite it predominantly being a punching and kicking based art, as it incorporates it into fighting matches the further you advance in the art. Whereas kickboxing doesn't. In kickboxing, it's only striking. And lastly, karate, unlike kickboxing, has a belt system in place. Now, I personally like this because with a belt system in place, you know just how experienced you are. You know where you are, you know where you've been, and you know where you need to go next in order to improve. Kickboxing has no such system in place. Now, not having a belt system in place can be a good thing or a bad thing depending on how you look at it. It's a good thing for the reason I mentioned before, and it also maintains law and order within your class sessions, making it easier to teach. But it can also create a power imbalance due to its hierarchical nature, and that can lead to some minor forms of mistreatment of people, particularly with the Q grades. So as I mentioned before, Kyokushin is the more dynamic art as there is some basic grappling involved, whereas kickboxing is more one-dimensional. Kickboxing may not have as hard a striking as Kyokushin, but in kickboxing, with face punches being allowed, its overall punching and kicking game is more effective than in all of karate as a whole. So practitioners of this form would have way better boxing fundamentals despite not knowing how to grapple. Kickboxing is a gloved art like most other striking arts. Modern kickboxing today is a hybrid striking art that combines rules and techniques from karate, Muay Thai, and Western boxing. In both kickboxing and Kyokushin, knee strikes are allowed, but elbow strikes are banned. Now, kickboxing owes its existence to a host of kicking-based arts, but the first martial arts that introduced kicking to the sport was karate from Japan. Now, as I mentioned before, I personally practice Kyokushin karate, but have zero experience kickboxing. There are obvious things I like and don't like about both arts. Kickboxing has the upper hand in overall striking, with face punching being allowed, so therefore they have better boxing fundamentals but no grappling whatsoever. Kyokushin has the upper hand in aggressive sparring and hard bare knuckle body conditioning with sweeps and throws influenced from judo, giving it some form of grappling base. However, its boxing skills with the hands are severely lacking, with no face punching being the rule. One problem in particular I have with karate as a whole, which sadly Kyokushin is not immune to, as great as it is, in a lot of karate dojos you'll come across certain training methodologies that make absolutely no sense whatsoever, and have no real pressure testing behind them or any practical application in the real world. In kickboxing, no such problems exist. With kickboxing being a glove fighting system, there are no bare knuckle punches allowed, so you'll not be able to reap the benefits of bare knuckle punches in kickboxing, but at least with gloves on, you'll become accustomed to getting hit in the face. Another thing that I don't like about Kyokushin karate is that they have a terrible habit that you'll never see in kickboxing, and that is dropping their hands and not keeping their guard up, because they only have to worry about blocking head kicks, not face punches, and that doesn't give Kyokushin a very good base for self-defense or MMA, defense-wise. And what I dislike about kickboxing is without bare knuckle fighting, it doesn't quite emulate the chaos of a real life fight, so you won't be as prepared for when those hard body shots come. Not to mention, when someone tries to take you down to the ground, you won't be prepared to defend against it. Now, I'm not saying that you should build a grappling foundation in a predominantly striking based martial art, but Kyokushin karate is a very well-rounded martial art in that regard. So there you have it, the pros and cons of Kyokushin and kickboxing. One has better striking overall with better boxing combos, the other striking with some grappling and way tougher body conditioning. Given this information, choose wisely. Thanks for watching.